let's continue. Let's see who we've got up next. Oh, someone who I know that you're going to absolutely love to hear from. Her name is Cassandra, also known as Dr. K. Brown, and she lives in Duncanville, Texas. And during the COVID-19 lockdown, she decided to do something that honestly resonates so much with me, because I decided to do something similar. See, what she decided to do when COVID hit and everything started to get locked down was she decided to make a pivot. She decided to make a pivot and really start doing what she loves. And what she loves to do is she loves to teach and coach people on the practical applications of universal truth so that you too will pivot to doing what it is that you love. She's just written her first book called Moving Beyond Betrayal, and she's here to talk to you about doing something different. Cassandra, Dr. K, are you with us?
Yes, Devin, I am with you.
You are with me. You are ready to.
I'm dancing.
I'm about what? You know what? I'm gonna just hand it off to you and let you do your thing, because that energy is infectious.
Devin, before you pass it off, I want you to know that you are good people just because your last name is Brown. Listen, my name is Cassandra, Dr. K. Brown. I'm known as the Tilted Fedora Trainer. And today I want to talk to you about a woman named Leah. Her story is recorded in the book of Genesis, and her journey is chronicled in the names of her 9 children. 9 children. When we meet Leah, we find that she's married to a man who does not love her. In fact, he was tricked into marrying her. His name is Jacob, and he fell madly, deeply, passionately in love with Leah's younger sister, Rachel, and he agreed to work for Rachel's hand in marriage for 7 years. At the end of the 7 years, he went to their father and he said, "Give me my wife." And the father said, "Yes, the wedding dinner and banquet are already scheduled. Here's your tux. Let's go party." At the end of the party, before everything was said and done, Laban, the lady's father, went to Leah and he said, "Go into the wedding bedroom. Go into the wedding bedroom and sleep with Rachel's fiance. You consummate the marriage." When Jacob woke up the next morning and found Leah laying beside him, as we say in the South, he was hotter than fish grease. He ran to Laban's tent and he said, "Yo, what have you done to me? Why have you tricked me? I worked 7 years for Rachel's hand in marriage, so why is Leah in my bed?" Laban said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. We didn't tell you about our traditions. In this place, the tradition is for the older sister to marry first and then the younger sister. So I tell you what, finish the wedding week with Leah. And then next weekend, you can marry Rachel and you'll have both of them. But guess what? You've got to work 7 more years because you promised to work 7 years for Rachel." Because Jacob was smitten with the kitten Rachel, he took Laban up on his deal. So Leah starts out married to a man who doesn't love her and who doesn't want her. Because they're married and they did what married people do, Leah gets pregnant immediately and she has her first child. He is a son. It's a baby boy, and she names him Reuben. Reuben is a great name until you realize that it means the Lord has seen my affliction and my misery. She gets pregnant again, and this time she has baby boy number 2. She names him Simeon, which means the Lord has heard that I am unloved. Bip bam, thank you, ma'am. She's pregnant a 3rd time, and she gives birth to baby boy Levi. Now, Levi's name means I'm unattached and hoping for a hookup. Have you ever been there? Have you ever been in Leah's spot where you were feeling afflicted, feeling miserable, feeling unloved, feeling unattached, hoping for a hookup? Let me tell you what Leah did, because after this 3rd baby was born, remember I told you she had 9, she did something extraordinary. She did something phenomenal. She did something different. When she got pregnant again, she's pregnant with baby number 4. It is another boy. And this time when the midwife says, "Leah, you've got another son. What will you name him?" She says, "Name him Judah, because this time I will praise." After Judah, she has Gad. Gad means I am fortunate. Then she has Asher, and Asher's name means happy. Happy am I, and women will call me happy. Then after Asher, she has Issachar. Issachar means I have been rewarded. God has given me my wages. Then she has Zebulun. Zebulun, her eighth son. And him she names, God has endowed me with a good gift. Now I have to be respected. Now I get honor. Told you she had 9. Baby number 9 is a little girl. The little girl's name is Dinah, and it means vindicated. Vindicated. Here, let me give you how Leah's journey actually pans out once she decides to do something different. I want to give you 4 points from this talk. The first point is what you say matters. Write this down. What I say matters. The next point is when I feel better, I do better. I know you've always heard when people know better, they do better. The truth is when people feel better, they do better. So write that down. Point number 2, when I feel better, I do better. The third point is I will respond and not react. Make a commitment from now on in whatever situation you are in to respond and not react. And the fourth point is that your results are your responsibility. Your results are your responsibility. I wanted to get those out so I wouldn't forget anything as my time is moving on. When Leah decided to do something different, she decided to speak differently about her situation. She was in the same situation. She had had babies before and they were sons before. It didn't make her husband love her anymore. In fact, he came to her just so she would get pregnant. So she decides to do something different. The first different thing you have to do in the midst of your situation is change what you say about your situation. The Bible says that the power of death and life are in your tongue. Same power. It yields 2 different results based on what you say. Write down, remember, what I say matters. So now you have to speak life and not death. Speak blessing and not cursing. Speak good and not evil. You know what happens when you change what you say? When you change what you say about a situation, you change how you feel about that situation. When you speak differently, you feel differently, and how you feel is really what determines your response. Have you ever had friends come by and say, let's go do this, let's go do that, and you say, no, I don't feel like it. And they say, well, what do you feel like doing? And you say, you know what? I feel like just sitting here like a lump on a log. And what do? You sit there like a lump on a log, right? Because that's what you said. So when you speak differently, you feel differently. Be positive in your situation. Speak good things in your situation so that you will feel better. It won't be easy. It won't be fun. And sometimes it won't even make sense, especially to those on the outside looking in. But you've got to do it because it's necessary. Why? Because when you feel better, you do better. Remember, that's the third point. When you feel better, you do better. People do what they feel. And when you feel better, you do better. My favorite book says you are more than a conqueror. When you begin to change your behaviors in the situation has to change. The true definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. So if you want a different result, you've got to do differently. But let me tell you what happens when you begin to do different things. You begin to see things differently. Wayne Dyer, internationally known motivational speaker and spiritual guru, says, when you look at things differently, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. When your behavior changes, your results change. When your behavior improves, your results improve. So what you have to do in that situation is begin to respond and not react. See, responding takes thought. Responding takes a time. It takes a moment. You have to breathe in order to respond. But when you change your response, you will change your results. That's why I say my last point is that your results are your responsibility. Write that down. My results are my responsibilities. Whatever your situation is today, I want you to know, you heard it from the Tilted Fedora trainer today, October 24th, 2020. There is greatness in you. There is greatness in you, and you have the responsibility of bringing that greatness, releasing it into the world. God gave it to you, and he didn't give it to you to hide it. He gave it to you to use it. So in whatever situation you are in, let me challenge you. Let me encourage you. Let me bless you with this piece of wisdom. Choose to do something different. Change what you say, which will change how you feel, which will change what you do, which will change your results. Listen, I have a free gift for you. If you will go to www.payhip.com, TTFT 2020, www.payhip.com, TTFT 2020, you can get your free gift. I am Cassandra, Dr. K. Brown, the Tilted Fedora trainer. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Dr. K, before you leave, let me just say something real quick. Let me say two things real quick. Number one, you need to be on more stages. You are an absolute pleasure to listen to, and you are doing exactly what you are supposed to be doing when you are sharing your voice and your message with the world. Number one. Number two, given what you said earlier, right before you hopped on, about me being good people because of our last name, yes, what I've decided to do is that you and myself and Les Brown and Ona Brown and all the other Browns, we're going to have a Brown Summit where it's only people with last name Brown who may or may not be related are going to speak. Okay? I don't have dates because I just made this up in my head, but that's what we're going to do.
Look, reach out to me. I'm down.
I bet.
I come from a talking family. I've got cousins who are teachers, professors. We can all talk.
Absolutely. All right. Brown Summit. Post-COVID Brown Summit 2021. You are amazing. Thank you so much. I love listening to you. I want to see more of you, please.
Thank you.